I made like $700 in like 10 seconds. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I walked out of the office and was like, babe, guess how much money I just made? And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. It felt like unreal. And so the next day I'm like, well, I'm going to do 10x that. And guess what happened? I am a huge advocate for the straight to funded. I don't really do the eval thing anymore because to me, it's not worth the time. Being on social media, I get stuff in my inbox constantly telling me some terrible stuff. You're gonna lose all your husband's money. You're gonna off yourself because you have a gambling addiction, like all these different, really crazy, harsh things. I'm ashamed to say it, to be honest, but I have put trading above my kids. Like, if you have the opportunity to be at home with your babies, raising them, and spending that time with them, don't let something as silly as trading influence how you show up as a mom.
What's up, traders? Welcome back to the podcast. Special guest in the house, Jen. It's good to have you, Jen. I'm excited for this. I want to intro you the right way. So I think we should start with your story and then get into strategy. I know you and I are connected through Tanner. I feel like Tanner's introduced me to a lot of my guests recently, but it's a good thing. He's well connected. So Jen, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. I'm excited for this.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
I feel like you and I know each other because you've been a part of the marketing group chat and everything that we're working on. Like, I feel like we know each other better because you're like now blended in with everybody that was at the seminar. Like, in my mind, you're grouped in with the people from the seminar, so
Yeah.
I guess that means we have to get you at the next one.
I'd love to be there. Honestly, I don't know if I DM'd you, but I DM'd Tanner because I saw all the content you guys were putting out, and I was like, I kind of have FOMO.
That's
Like,
okay.
I
That's
don't
good.
even know any of you in real life, but it just looks so fun. I'm like, man, I want to go.
It was a good time. I think honestly, I've said this before, but people in our business are very isolated, right? Like, you have a family, you have other stuff going on outside of trading, which we're going to talk about. Not everybody does. A lot of these guys just sit on their computer, a lot of them, and they work from home and they're just alone. So when you give them the chance to get around other traders, they go nuts.
Oh, yeah.
They just let loose. So yeah. But anyway, let's get into it, Jen. You got into trading when?
So I just hit my 1 year anniversary,
Nice.
beginning of May and well, end of April technically. Yeah, but I would say I don't really count the first 6 to 8 months
Why?
because okay, so I found trading through Instagram, shocker. I'll kind of give you my backstory and just kind of wrap it in.
Okay.
So my background is in nutrition and health coaching. I worked with athletes for a really long time doing their nutrition plans, primarily like in the CrossFit space and stuff. But
Cool.
when I started having kids, it just was taking a lot out of me, and I really have always dreamt of having kids, being a super present mom, being really involved, and so I took a step back. A year passes, my brain turns to mush because I'm not working anymore. I just felt like something was missing. So I was honestly kind of looking for a hobby more than a career. Um,
Interesting.
and I've always been interested in the stock market, wanted to find something that I could learn that just, I don't know, challenged my brain. Because I love to learn. And I came across, have you ever heard of 20-minute trader?
No.
Okay, look it up after this.
Okay.
It's a 1 second line chart strategy.
Interesting.
Got sucked into the classic sales funnel, buy the course for $7. I'm like, I can buy a course for $7. That's nothing. Then bought the next course and bought the next course, totally suckered into it. And I will say there's people who make money using that strategy, so I don't want to poo-poo on anything. Some people are successful with it. But for me, it was a little too objective. Um, or subjective is what I mean. Basically it was not very black and white. I'm a very black and white person. It was line charts over each other, watching for a visual pattern to happen. Um, and I was doing that from end of April through September of last year.
Okay.
So I didn't even know what a candlestick was
Wow.
genuinely until September of
So
last
now I
year.
understand why you're saying like the first couple of months don't really count.
Yeah, because then now like the strategy I'm using now and the way that I trade now, like I couldn't have even fathomed back then.
So what made the
Um,
switch from the line charts to the candlesticks? Is that when you found Andrew? Traders, real quick, a pause from today's podcast to thank our first sponsor, Top One Futures. You've probably heard about them by now. Top One has been a sponsor of this show for over 2 years. We've got a link in the description that's going to save you over 35% on any challenge with Top One Futures. Just use the code ASFX and that'll save you the biggest discount that they're offering at the time of you watching this. Big shout out to Clay for being here and also for helping us make this podcast happen. A big thank you to our second sponsor, TradeZella. If you're not tracking your trades, you're falling behind. I can save you on the monthly plan and the yearly plan, whichever works better for you, but we would highly recommend that you start tracking your trades today using TradeZella. I'm a big fan of Umar. They have been nothing but supportive and helpful to me and my community, so we want to save you guys money and we want to get you tracking today. Use the link in the description and you will be able to save either 10% or 20% on your monthly or yearly plan. Now let's get back to the podcast.
no. So basically I just wasn't finding success with the line charts. It was very hit or miss. And I was trying to force it. I felt very trapped because I'd spent a lot of money on these courses and trying to learn. And so I was like, I just have to figure it out this way. And then finally came across some other influencers on Instagram and saw that there wasn't anyone else doing this 1 second line chart thing. Like everyone is using candlesticks. So I just intuitively was like, maybe there's a better way. So then I dug in for about, I don't know, 3 months maybe, YouTube University, like consuming every single
It's a
piece
great
of
place to start.
free content,
Yeah.
right? Like learning what a candlestick is. And that's the advice I always give people is like before you go buying a course, like I kind of view it finding a strategy as like dating, like you aren't gonna marry the first person that you go on a date with.
It's true.
Maybe you will, but after a few years of like seeing out what else is out there. And so for me, yeah, I did the YouTube thing. Then I was kind of a Discord whore and I just hopped around. I spent 1 month in probably every Discord out there. I don't think I've ever been in yours. But yeah, I did all different types of strategies. And I think in hindsight, I don't regret that because there's pieces of what I learned from each of those different Discords I was in that contribute to how I trade now, even though my strategy is very much the strategy that I learned from Andrew, who's now my mentor. There's nuance to how I trade that's different than he does. And
Of course.
it's, informed by my experience and hopping around and learning these different things. So, um, yeah.
Good. Okay. Good information. Now, when does Andrew come into the picture? How did
Okay.
was he
So,
just a Discord that you landed in?
no, no. So, one of the coolest things about my experience, so I started sharing on social media in December.
Okay.
Um, very end of November actually. And it was right when my husband lost his job. So, my husband unexpectedly lost his job. He was a CFO. Or like, I guess the unique thing about my trading journey is I never got into it because of money. My husband has done very well. He's a great provider. I was able to stop working and be a stay-at-home mom, which I know is not everyone's situation. And so trading was just like blah blah blah. I'm, learning this. I'm losing money. It's fine. Like, our livelihood is not on me. And
Yeah.
then my husband loses his job. And I was like, oh, my livelihood is still not on me, but I started to see the opportunity and was like, whoa, like I could actually do something with this and alleviate the pressure that now exists on my husband's shoulders as he's trying to find a new job,
Yeah. Yeah.
which at the time he lost his job. It's Thanksgiving and then Christmas. No one's hiring. Then it's an election year. We
Right.
have Trump come into office. The market is what we've all watched it be, which is just volatile, crazy,
True.
unpredictable. And the job market really has mirrored that. And so there's a lot of uncertainty that existed in our family. all of that being said, I started sharing my journey with the hook, um, replacing my husband's income with day trading, which I always was very transparent. Like, I wasn't trying to disrespect my husband. He gave me total permission. I've actually gotten a lot of attack
Really?
on social media and in my personal life from
Really?
people. Oh yeah, saying how disrespectful I am as a wife to say that, but what none of them know is, like, number 1, my husband could care less. He gave me permission and encouraged me. He's like, "That's a great idea." He's very secure, which I appreciate. He's not jealous, he's not worried, and he doesn't have social media. He's like, "I could give a crap what anyone thinks of me.
Right. He's
I
in
know
the
who I
real
am,"
world.
you
He's
know?
not in the internet world like us.
Yes, yeah. And so anyway, that grew my social media pretty quickly
Well, because it
in a
was
way that has
controversial, right? Like that's really what
Mhm.
it was. It pissed people off to hear that.
Yes. Well, that, and I think because I had no idea what I was doing. I was brand new at trading. And I'm like an all or nothing person. Like, I went 100% in. So, like, it's me on my, on my Instagram page, copy trading way more accounts than I had any
So
business
you were
copy
like
trading.
jumping in on the prop stuff too. When you started making this
Oh yeah.
transition, sharing the journey, you're sharing prop trading too. Because were you ever
Yep.
trading personal capital or just right into prop accounts?
I started with options for the first couple months with that line trading strategy, and
Okay.
then they as a company shifted to using prop firms and doing futures,
And
and so
that's
I made that transition beforehand, which I'm grateful for.
yeah.
I lost a good amount of money trading options, as you can imagine. But yeah, I just jumped in 100%, and so people were seeing me blow, many accounts at a time, which happens to bring a lot of engagement.
It definitely
Um,
does.
wasn't my plan, but people apparently love to, like, still to this day, if you look at my page, my most viral reels are the ones of me being like, "Hey, it's me. I blew my accounts the day before taking a, X amount payout," and those are the ones that blow up, you
Of
know?
course.
So,
Of course.
but what I will say is, for me, I look back on deciding to share my trading journey on social media, and it has opened so many doors for me. I've connected with so many people, and Andrew actually found me.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had been doing my own thing, popping from Discord to Discord, like I said. And I made a reel that I basically was like, "Hey guys, like, I'm quitting day trading," basically. And I was mostly
You
joking. And
knew
I
that
said
was going to
that,
get attention. You knew that was going to hook them
oh,
in
for sure. I mean,
for sure.
I'm not going to lie, I'm strategic.
Of
Like,
course.
I'm strategic in what I'm doing. And I know that we live in a world where building a personal brand is the best form of, currency and leverage that you can have.
And also very competitive. Both are very true.
Yes.
Yeah. So to be in a
Yes.
competitive space, you're going to have to think about this with strategy and hook people sometimes. So
Totally.
you make this reel. He sees the reel and he's like, "What are you trading?" Or is he like, "Let me help you"? Like, what is the
So the way he tells it is that, like, he sees this reel. It had gotten a ton of views. It's probably at like 60 or 80K at that point, which my page is not that big still.
That's good.
So it's a
60
lot of
acres.
views for me. And he's like, "Yeah." So I was like sitting there, I saw your reel, and then I started reading the comments. And, I'm admittedly a newbie at trading on my social media. So, like, if you look through my comments, everybody thinks they have the golden ticket to help me.
It doesn't
You know?
stop, I promise. Even if you're not a newbie, people still come in
Oh,
my
really?
comments and tell me how to do it. Yeah, so it never stops.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
on Instagram is smarter than you. That's just the way it
Yeah,
is.
oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like, yeah, the bleacher coaching, whatever they call that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so he's like, "Yeah, I was looking through, I saw your reel, I'm reading the comments, and I'm just sitting there getting like pissed off because I'm like, she's never gonna make it if this is what she listens to. And if you want to do it the right way, you have to, or if you want it done the right way, you have to do it yourself," is essentially what he told me. So he slid into my DMs and was like, "Hey," which has happened before, I'll be honest. I've had a lot of trading guru mentors be like, "Hey, let me help you. Hey, let me help you." Because I think they also see the opportunity. They're like, "This girl is getting traction. She's getting views. If I solve her problem, that's great for my brand, you know?"
Yeah.
So I was aware of that and a little bit on guard. But he's like, "Let's just get on the phone." So we get on like Instagram, FaceTime, whatever that's called, video. And he spent 2 hours on the phone with me just giving me advice for free. Like, he's like, "I'm not trying to tell you to come be mentored by me. Like, I'm just telling you this is the way I've done things. This is my path. Like, this is what's worked for me, you know?" And totally left the ball in my court with zero pressure to work with him, which was such a breath of fresh air. And I could just tell, like, when you can just tell someone's super genuine and they just really want to help.
For sure.
Um, and he also, in the beginning, was like, I don't want you talking to people about working with me. So I kept it private for a while, and was just working with him, learning from him on the side. And then, once I kind of got my feet under me and everything else, we are like, all right, I was like, I'm sold. Like, I want to be a part of your community. And so now I'm starting to take steps toward, as I grow as a trader, because I'm not confident in any sort of mentoring or teaching or anything like that, but I'm becoming, an affiliate with him and starting to push people towards his content, his education, things like that. Because it's been life changing for me.
100%. I love that.
Yeah.
So he's actually approached me and he's like, dude, let's collab. He's like, I've seen your stuff. So now that I get to talk to you and hear that he's made an impact on you, I'm even more excited to talk to him.
Oh yeah.
He's got a really popular social media handle. So like, I think that's helped him get a lot of traction. But I think for you, like on just the content stuff for a second, the authentic, like showing the day-to-day grind, showing the journey, even showing the accounts that are being burned and flipped and trying to go for those big payouts. I think that also blew up at the same time as this, you're talking about over the last year, 2 years. That's become very
Mhm.
popular. So it was your ascent and the right timing of, the market and everything like that all coming together to lead us to this point. So when we talk the journey, before we talk more strategy, how did prop firms play into this for you? Maybe talk to everybody for a second about like your first jab trading with prop firms when it was mentioned to you the first time to kind of like now how you see them playing a role in your trading business.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I just go all in on things. I'm very just 100% pedal to the metal. Like, that's my personality. I don't go halfway. And so I made the mistake, I'll say, when I started getting into the prop firm trading space of being like, oh, I can have 20 accounts with Apex. Okay, I'm going to have 20 then. So I'm buying 20 evals, blowing 20 evals every other week. And that was my experience for a long time. Um, Andrew actually is who finally was like, "What are you doing? Like, let's get one account." And because even when I started working with Andrew, I hadn't gotten a payout. I'd almost gotten a payout over and over. Like, I mean, I can't count how many times I was qualified for a payout, but needed one more trading day. Things like that. And yeah, so when I started with prop firms, it was like, I think everyone does the math in their head where it's like, okay, I can have 20 accounts and I can take a max payout of $2,000. That means I could get $40,000, and you get sucked into that.
For sure.
But it's just so easy to blow through them, especially those ones that are like $20 or whatever. You're like, oh, it's nothing.
But when you're buying
So
50, 60,
Oh,
70,
it adds.
80,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
And that's why I'll say, so I am a huge advocate for the straight to funded. I don't really do the eval thing anymore because to me it's not worth the time. Number one, I don't trade them as well. I just treat them differently, which I know I shouldn't, but I do, and I know that about myself. I'm a big believer that like when you have skin in the game financially, you're just more committed to something, right? So like to me, $20 is nothing, right? So I'm like, whatever, like I'll
torture.
blow $20.
Right.
I'll do another one. I'll do another one. I'll do another one. Next thing you know, I've spent $600 or whatever to pass one eval. Why didn't I just get a straight to funded?
It's a great point. So
And then you have the activation fee on top of that, which a lot of people don't. I've
factor in
talked to so many people who are like, oh yeah, I finally passed my Apex accounts. And then I just realized that I have to pay $150 activation fee for
on
every single
all
one.
of
I'm
them.
like, yeah, every single one.
That's where Apex makes all their money. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
for sure.
that's what there's the sleeper on everybody. Because there's sometimes there's not a discount on those activation fees. I'm pretty sure. So they'll give you the cheap upfront. And then if you do pass and you got to activate it, basically buying again, they
Yep.
hit you with another charge. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's a very interesting model. Let's go just down the rabbit hole. Eval
Hmm.
or straight to funded, instant funded, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
For a first time prop trader, is it even worth it to try the eval at all? Or do you think, no, just go straight to funded? The rules are even harder most of the time in the straight to funded. So wouldn't that arguably be a better place for a new trader to start with tighter rules?
I think personally, I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on the person's financial situation. Um, because the truth is, like, this would be my advice, I would say. And this is like a do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. Because I probably, even if I knew to do this, wouldn't have done it because it's not my personality.
Okay.
Um, but if I were starting out, and I've actually given this advice to a few people, because of course, like, people watch what I'm doing and I get all the DMs. Where would you start? What would you do? How do I get started? All of that. I think that you invest in education first. Like, do the YouTube university thing, invest in education, learn. Then when you're ready to start prop trading, I don't believe in paper trading. I don't think there's emotions behind it whatsoever. Um, get a inexpensive eval with a company that you trust, and then create a budget that is personalized to you in what you're comfortable spending each month, and then work on passing an eval. And when you hit that budget, let's say you say $200 a month is what you're comfortable spending on evals, like, then you're done. And then you go to the practice account and you trade paper until the next month hits, because it's too easy to get sucked into that chase, of
100%.
like, oh, I'll just get one more and I'll pass this one and then I'll make it back. Oh, I'll just get one more, I'll pass this one and then I'll make it back. And the next thing you know, you finally get a payout and your payout doesn't even cover all of the money you've spent on evals. So if you're brand new, I don't know. If you have the money to go straight to funded, sure.
Still
Absolutely.
set a
Because,
budget though, because you probably will fail a couple straight to fundeds too. I don't know anybody that's
right,
buying one account and getting payouts on one account. Everybody that
right.
gets payouts fails. I love
Yeah,
your advice, but I think you set the budget too on the instant fundeds. It's like just
totally.
everyone listening to this. If you're a prop trader, you should have a budget so you're not just digging yourself into a worse hole financially. Because you and I are in decent, financial positions. Some people listening maybe are not. If you're already starting in the red when you're learning how to trade, you definitely need to be cautious of what Jen is saying. To think
Yeah,
that you would even maybe make the position worse by not paying attention to it is just,
yeah.
you don't want to be ignorant.
Well, and then another big thing I think too is like scaling into copy trading. Like, that's one of the biggest mistakes I made is
Start with one and
like,
then build into it, you're
yeah,
saying? Okay.
yeah. So like, maybe you're brand new at trading and you want to start with a prop firm. Great. Get an eval. Okay. One eval a month. Like, if you're broke, one eval a month. That's it. What is it? Max at any prop, probably $100.
Right.
Right? So you're spending $100 a month. You pass that eval and you get it to funded, then maybe you get a second.
Sure.
And then you pass that one and you get it to funded and maybe you get a third.
Earn it.
And over time you scale up. Just like if you were trading real capital, you don't go from trading one contract to
To 10.
trading. Actually, if you're me, you do. I did that.
Right. Me too. And that's how you end up with some
I did
losses.
do that.
Right.
My first day ever trading, I traded uh options on NQ and or QQQ, sorry. And I made like $700 in like 10 seconds. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I walked out of the office and was like, "Babe, guess how much money I just made?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." It felt like unreal. And so the next day I'm like, "Well, I'm going to do 10x that." And guess what happened? I
Lost.
lost. I lost.
I think everyone has a story like that. So
Yeah.
before we leave the prop firm stuff, the instant funded, I like your opinion on that. The challenge accounts are good. What's your thought on these firms now offering live accounts, live versus personal capital, trading your own money, whether it's sim money or money you made somewhere else? Are you thinking that's a path you're trying to go down and go with one of these, like you said, companies you trust, get funded, get a live account? Or are you taking the boat of like, I'm taking my profits and I'm going to trade my own money?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know yet. I for the time being, I'm pretty happy with sticking with prop firms because I'm very much, and we can get into this more. I am still working through like my emotional tilt triggers. And I actually recently, in the past couple months, on Andrew's recommendation, started working with a trading therapist that we can talk about
Yeah.
that too. But for me, until I have proven to myself that I am like rock solid iron, like ironclad, cannot be shook to go on tilt and just blow my whole account, I can't be trusted with real money. That's just the truth. Like, so right now, I would be more inclined to potentially go live with a prop firm if that opportunity presented itself because of the risk management aspect of it and the accountability
Yeah.
that's built in
Yeah.
that they create for you.
Yeah. It'd be
Because I
good
just
for you.
don't trust myself.
But
That's just the truth.
it's a great answer. It's super refreshing. And you're only a year into this. Like, even if you were 5 years into this, I mean, my perspective on it is like tilt never goes away.
Right.
The degenerate in me never goes away. I just have to make it happen less often and cost me less money every time. So it's like
Mm,
becoming aware of when it's happening and trying to stop it is really,
right.
I don't know anyone that's perfect because I know all these traders I've talked to that are like 60 and they've all still had tilt days. It never stopped. They never like, yo, at age 54, you're good, bro. You don't tilt anymore. Like,
You need to get Andrew on the pod.
yeah, yeah. Why would he disagree?
I mean, he's the most disciplined trader I've ever come across
Yeah,
by far. Like
really.
his record this year, I think he's like taken 36 total trades and he's like 33 on 36.
Wow.
Like his yeah, I mean his discipline is insane. It's
Wow.
That's the biggest piece I would say learning from him.
Yeah.
His strategy is great. I think there's a lot, and he would say the same thing. There's a million strategies out there that work. His wife trades is great. She trades different than he trades.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, and his son. Um, but it's the discipline piece. It's the self-control, the mindset, like all of that. The wealth of knowledge that I'm learning from him goes so far beyond trading. But yeah, I mean, I think to get into the therapy thing, if
Yeah.
I can speak on that for a
Mhm.
second, um, he really pushed me towards that because even when working with him, I have had multiple situations where I've been qualified for a payout. I had a Tradeify account that it was a 50K. I was up 7K in profit and blew and obviously qualified for a payout, but I didn't have enough trading days. Blew the whole thing in, like,
Why didn't you just go to a different account?
30 minutes because I don't know. I
Yeah.
like, I'm
That's why
working
you
through
hire the
this.
therapist. Right. Right.
I'm working through this
Yeah.
with my trading
Yeah.
therapist, right? Like, what is it? And everyone has different triggers and different impulses and things like that.
For
But, like,
sure.
what is it in me? Like, what are the triggers that are causing me to go on tilt? And I actually do believe that if you work on these things and you invest in working with someone who knows how to work through these things, you can overcome it completely.
I agree. Absolutely.
You know?
A good
So
coach
for
is worth the
me,
money.
I'm at the point where I'm like, let me nip this in the butt
Yeah. Yeah.
early so that when I'm 2 years into trading, I'm not still having these episodes, 3 years, whatever, 5 years, I don't know how long it'll take. Like, I'm not going on tilt. It's not an option anymore because I've like fixed whatever that glitch in my brain
And
is.
Andrew's been trading for a long time. So maybe his perspective is like where mine is going, which is like, I'm not tilting now as much as I used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe he's right. Like it's a different level of experience for everybody. And my 9 years isn't enough yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
What else would you say before we go off of Andrew? Any other big takeaways from working with him before we go into the therapist? And you can plug him or her if you want to plug the therapist too, because we're giving Andrew the plug. So, but
Yeah.
any big takeaways from Andrew that you could share with the audience on, like you said, specifically the discipline, the mindset side of things? Anything maybe you wish you would have heard sooner or learned sooner?
I think just like patience, like the slow and steady approach. I think that it's really easy with social media, which we're all on. And like I mentioned, that's how I found trading. So I'm following all the people. it's really easy to get caught up in the comparison and to feel like you're not doing enough or like your wins aren't big enough. And so like the perspective of every day kind of being a brick that I'm laying on the foundation and not feeling entitled to skipping the line because I feel like that's something that's really common. Like you see these traders with these massive days, like people like Andrew, who he has had multiple $1 million days this year. And you start learning from them and you're like, okay, when's my $1 million day coming? Like, and you start to feel entitled to an outcome that you haven't earned. Sure, you might be lucky and get there, but like putting in the reps and like falling in love with the process and the journey of getting there is what's going to get you there. And I think having the perseverance to push through the lows and continue. Like I have a sign behind me, I don't know if you can see it. It says be the one who didn't quit. And I put that there to remind myself like, being on social media, I get stuff in my inbox constantly telling me like, I mean, some terrible stuff. You're going to lose all your husband's money. You're going to off yourself because you have a gambling addiction, like all these different, like really crazy, harsh things. Or just simply like, you're never going to make it. You're going to quit. So just quit now. And I think that the people who make it in trading, there's nothing that special about them other than the fact that they actually had the perseverance to push through those low lows that make you want to quit and said, nope, like I'm going to do it. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many times I fail. I'm going to keep picking myself back up because I know I can do this and I know I can succeed. Um, yeah, so I think that piece of it, just the patience and the belief in myself, he's really helped me believe in myself more because he's come alongside me and believed in me
From
in the moments where I didn't believe in
right. And
myself.
even from when the beginning, when he reached out to you, it's funny you
Mhm.
talk about the self-belief. That's what I started the entire seminar with. And I think people
Mm.
were a little surprised that we didn't just start with trading, but I talked about that because I think I had to go through exactly what you talked about. So, and I'm sure, I mean, you're talking about it, how you're going through it right now. I'm sure the audience can relate to that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are listening and their parents aren't supportive of it or their spouse isn't super supportive of it. So, being a stay at home mom, how important do you think it is to have a supportive partner in this endeavor?
I mean, I can't imagine doing this without the support of my spouse, to be honest. And that's not to say that you can't do it if your spouse isn't supportive,
Sure.
but I mean, I'm very lucky I married a man who like he just wants the world for me. He speaks life over me, encourages me, like believes in me. And I have to give him a shout out because even more than Andrew, since day one on those low lows, like it's not about the money for him, like that this potentially could bring our family because he's on his career track, like he's doing great. Like we don't not that we don't need it. You can always use more money, especially in the economy today, but it's more about the fact that he sees how much I love this.
Right.
Like I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it and he's seen it bring that part of me out. Um and he's been so patient with me because I have like, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to walk up the stairs. I trade in like this is like my basement office. Um, and look him in the eye and be like, "Yep, I went on tilt. Like I blew all of my accounts and then I bought 10 more and I blew all those too." Um, and he's never once been judgmental or harsh towards me about it. He's a finance guy, like, so he's like, so we should definitely like try and figure out how to stop this pattern because it's not sustainable in the long
The balance
term.
sheet's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he's like, so like I'm not saying keep doing this, but like he's just so gracious
That's
and
all.
so encouraging
Yeah.
and my biggest cheerleader. And to be honest, I'm trying to convince him to start
Well,
trading
that's where I
because
was going with this. I'm like, it sounds like he needs to get involved with it. Even if he trades a little bit different than you, it doesn't seem like a stupid
yeah,
idea to have him go down the path with you, even because he is supportive. There's a lot of
totally.
people that are listening, their spouse is not supportive. So I'm sure they're a little jealous of people like yourself who have a supportive significant other, because trading is tough, and like to have to hide that, I think it makes it less likely that you grow. Like I would argue, just from the conversations I've had with so many different types of people, different walks of life, you being able to share it with him has helped you grow through the pains faster than the people
Oh, yeah.
like me. When I started, I didn't share the losses with anybody. I didn't have anybody when I was 17, 18, 19. You know what I mean? So you're just by yourself in this spiral where at least you have to take accountability for it. It makes it more real. It makes you kind of feel like you got to force yourself to grow through it, you know?
Oh, for sure. And I think for me too, I mean, you have to remember he wasn't working. Like my husband just started working again a month ago. So from November through May, he was unemployed and we're a single income household. So like we were okay because I'm lucky to have a spouse who is very financially responsible and set us up to have an emergency fund. But like when I'm eating into the emergency fund because of my hobby, like
Yeah.
it's not a good feeling. There's like a level of failure and guilt that I felt, but he like never once made me feel ashamed or like I was letting him down in any way. Which I feel like is huge.
Huge.
I mean, and I would encourage people, if your spouse is not supportive or whoever it is, like your parents, like people in your life, find people who are. And it doesn't mean that they don't love you, they just don't understand. And they'll come around, but don't let their lack of understanding and belief in you keep you from pursuing something that you love, that you're passionate about, that like in the long run, if you succeed, could change your life and theirs forever.
It can benefit them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is like you talk to anybody, I'm sure you know this, who's built a business, like started a company, done anything meaningful in life, every single one will tell you that there's people doubting them. And a lot of times it is family. I'm one of the lucky ones where my husband is supportive, but I've had friends, um, acquaintances, people in my personal life that have been very vocally against what I'm doing.
That's crazy.
Um, yeah, I mean it is what it is,
It's
but
crazy that people close to you, not just you, just anyone, would do that, like talk down to you wanting to better yourself, to take a risk that isn't even that much of a risk now hearing your story, just to want to do something that makes you happy, makes you fulfilled, solves that problem solving piece in your brain, right? Fills that puzzle piece. It's like, why would
right,
they talk down on that? Only because they're either believing that they couldn't do it or their own insecurity is saying they couldn't do it. There's literally no reason.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to, unfortunately, like I've cut those people off. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've gone through a whole like cycle in the past few months of just recognizing like who my people are and just creating
What do they want, Jen?
space.
Do they want you to just be a stay-at-home mom and that's it? Is that what they're saying? Like, stop doing this.
No, I think the biggest thing, honestly, is there's been some people who disagree with the way I've done my social media
Okay.
with the replacing my husband's income hook, right? Which
Yeah,
I've
but
always said as a hook,
it's funny.
but
Like it's funny.
apparently it makes me a super disrespectful
But
wife.
it's like, let's just use round numbers, easy numbers. Your husband makes 500 grand a year. You make 600. You replaced his income. Were you in a bad spot? No. Are you in a worse spot? No. Either way, I don't understand why it's a problem.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
It's
I
a
mean, I think
problem.
that
Why? Because
ultimately,
are you emasculating your husband by being like he's going to cook me dinner too and clean my toilet? Like I don't get it. I
I'm
really don't
not
get it.
saying those things, but I think that this is the thing. This is life and this is social media. The biggest issue oftentimes when people get offended on social media or like come to conclusions is they don't have the context.
Right.
So like they see one piece of content, 10 seconds of a reel, and then they form an opinion and get high on their horse and they don't actually take the time to look at and understand what you're doing. And that's really it. Is it's, other moms, wives around in my life that, they don't take the time to actually understand what I'm doing. They don't actually have a conversation face to face. They see 10 seconds of a reel and go, "Oh, Jen's, emasculating Rob." And it's like, "No, actually, he was the one who was like, 'Hell yeah, that's a great idea. Go for it.'"
Yeah. And look, it worked. Like it clearly got you a lot of attention. So it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is I look back and it's like, you know what? Like the doors that this has opened, even the opportunity to be on this podcast, like so much of what I've been lucky to experience in my first year of trading. There's people who've been trading for 4 or 5 years. They don't have access to people like Andrew or Jadon or you or all the other people in our
True.
affiliate group that like I have so much opportunity. Do you know why? Because I put myself out there.
Got to
And I
close
encourage
some doors to
everyone
open
to put
others.
yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what doors are gonna open,
Yep.
and you might sit back and go like, "Well, why does Jen get to do this? Why does Jen get to do that? I'm a better trader than her." You probably are. But guess what? I actually put myself out there every single day, have been sharing the highs and lows, and that's why these opportunities have come, you know?
I would say the same thing for myself. I'm not the best trader out there, but I have no problem putting myself out there and getting in the
Yeah.
mix. And then it leads to, who you know is everything. Well, if you know most
Yeah.
people, you'll have a lot of opportunities. But
Well, and
unfortunately, like you said, you got to close some doors to open some other ones for sure.
It's made it's made trading so much less lonely,
Oh,
even
yeah.
beyond the people like you and other people who have platforms that I've been super lucky to connect with. I mean, I can't tell you, there's people who follow me that are like regulars, I would call them, in my DMs that have like become friends.
Yeah.
Other moms who are trading, people that I can talk to when I have blown accounts that are, not my husband, because as gracious and kind as he is, he's not trading,
He's
so
not
he
a
doesn't
trader.
fully get
You
it,
can get it.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like with trading, if you're doing it alone, you're doing it wrong. Like, it's kind of like individual sports, but you know what I mean? Like, did you do any individual sports where it's like it could be lonely, but if you're on a team and everyone's doing it, you're still cheering each other on, you can
100%.
relate.
I ran track lonely. Even
Yes.
if we did the 4x1 and we were a team, you're always just pissed at the slowest of the four. So it's still kind of lonely. And then I played soccer and I played basketball. And so team sports, totally different, right?
Right.
Yep. Yep.
But the thing that's cool about trading in contrast to that is like it's an individual sport,
Yep.
but like you making money doesn't prevent me from making
No,
money.
no, definitely not.
So I've found a lot of camaraderie with people that I've connected with through social media because we're all cheering each other on, And there's nothing cooler, honestly, than when I post like a trade review and I have 10 people in my DMs being like, "Oh, I caught that same trade with
Exactly.
you." It's like, sweet. Like we all just made money together.
And at
Like
the
that's
same time,
epic.
it's fun when Zach and Tanner are short and I'm long and I make money and I get to go talk shit to them. You missed it last
Yeah.
Friday. I had Tanner on stream. I'm short and he's like long, long, blown account, re up some take profit accounts while I'm just milking this short, long, long again, adding into a long, blown the long, and I'm just me and Lawrence were short milking it. So it's fun to support each other on the wins and then be able to like talk shit. Like
Yeah,
I like having the guys that,
totally.
you know what I'm saying? Like it makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's half the fun.
Yeah,
That's
for
half the
sure.
fun of it.
Let's talk strategy for a few minutes, shall we?
Okay. Yeah.
So, first, since we talked about prop firms already, let's say like Jen's best trading strategy tips for payouts, scalping, swinging, certain timeframes, certain assets, high level overview of like if someone listening to this still hasn't taken their first payout, what would you say are some of the key components to the strategy that'll get them to the payout fastest?
Um, so I feel like base hits is the way to go. So something interesting is learning from Andrew. He's known for catching massive moves. I've shot myself in the foot multiple times since working with him
You have
because
no
I'm
foot
trading
left.
prop firms and he's not.
Yeah.
And so I catch a 150-point move and then I screw my consistency up. And now instead of having to make 2,500 or whatever it is on my 50K, now I have to make,
10,000. Yeah,
9K.
right, right.
And I'm like, sick. This is great,
Okay. So base hits over big swings, big home runs.
100%. Yeah. So I'm trading right now 7 of those new Top 1 Futures Pro accounts.
Nice.
And my strategy, and I've told people this consistently in the DMs that are asking, like, how are you going to play these? Because of the intraday trailing drawdown, is I'm aiming for a 2-to-1, which I don't honestly pay that much attention to risk to reward because my win rate is super high. when I don't go on tilt. If
Yep.
you took my tilt days away, my win rate would be in the 90%.
I mean, that sounds like me and a lot of other people. And so over
Yeah.
time, as you remove the tilt days, I agree. The stacking, the higher win rate, not needing 3-to-1, 4-to-1 trades, especially when
Mhm.
you're trying to get payouts. I think it might be different if you were trying to trade personal capital and just grow the base. Maybe it would be
Yes.
different, maybe, but it's an argument to be made because like the stacking and the scalping works. How many trades per day are you finding like when you are able to string together enough green days for a payout? Are you taking 5 trades a day, 10 trades a day, two? Like, what does it normally look like?
1 to 2.
Okay, that's it.
1 to 2. If I take more than 2 trades, it usually means that I have gone on tilt.
Okay, so that's where it stops.
Um, my strategy is very specific in the sense that the opportunities don't present more than 1 to 2 times a day, and sometimes not at all in a day.
Okay,
I use confluence that I learned from Andrew through watching other um, tickers that are a part of the indices
sure.
for specific things, right? And so I'm not only looking for my setup on NQ, I'm looking for everything to align, which is why when I'm not on tilt, my win rate is super high.
Because it's a tougher, it's like got a lot of confluence behind the setup.
Yes, a lot of confluence behind it and a lot of confidence that comes in taking those trades,
Yep.
right? So that's part of why I'm like not super worried about the risk to reward so much.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that scalping is fine. I think keep your position size small and don't rush it, especially if you've never gotten a payout. Like you always see people posting about blowing accounts, but then they're trading minis. And I'm like,
You're asking for it, kind of, right?
on a
Oh,
50K.
yeah, you're
Like
asking for it.
yeah, this morning I actually accidentally took double my position size. I don't know if I double clicked the button or what because I had it on 4 micros. That's my sizing that I typically use. 4 micros, have a 20-point stop ish, make sure it fits structure. And yeah, I somehow ended up in 8 micros. I still don't really fully understand how. Um, but that for me is like a huge position size.
Got it.
Trading a 50K account, like I don't see the need to take more than a couple of micros, keep your position size small. And then for me, a big part of it too is like I don't like to risk more than 150 to $200 a trade because I find that losing more than that puts me on tilt,
There you go.
you know?
Absolutely.
Like,
And there's like, and that's a level, right? Like you're still so new to this. So it's like, that's now. 3 years from now, it's not going to be that.
right.
3 years later, it's not going to be that. That number will change, I think, over time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And what's interesting is that I don't even know, like, I still haven't been able to put my finger on what it is because it's not really about the money because it's sim money,
Right.
right?
It's law.
It's about like getting into drawdown. Something about like if the first trade I take on brand new fresh accounts is a red trade, that is so bad for my psychology. I don't know how you do with that, but something about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm behind,
I
you
mean,
know?
everything you're saying, I'm very similar to you. So I handle it probably the same way you do. I'm like, well, I might as well hit the next trade really hard and either burn this thing or
Oh yeah.
get it back. Yeah. And then, like, again, because I have about a 70% win rate. So I'm in the same boat as you. I usually am not wrong that many times in a row. I can make something work. So when I am wrong too many times, that's when the tilt comes in for sure. Um, Great information. So many good insights to your strategy. You said the number of trades. What time of day? Because of the time zone that you're in, are you trading the open? Are you trading after the open? Any Asian session stuff? Like what?
Just the open,
Okay.
just the open. So my routine is kind of I come downstairs, I'm mountain time. So I get down here at 7, 30 minutes before market open. I chart, I go over all my levels, I set my entry targets. And because I do most of my trading is like breakout trading,
Okay. Pending
support and
orders or market
resistance,
orders?
market
Okay.
orders, market orders always. And yeah, so I'll usually set an entry target and or set my entry targets, get ready, market opens. Very rarely will I trade the first 5-minute candle. I like to see that close. And then I just kind of waiting to see if my setup comes. My hard stop is at 8:30. So I give myself 1 hour And then if a trade doesn't come up, I'm done and I'm walking away because I'm a mom. I'm a like full-time stay-at-home mom and it's summer right now. So like, my kids are upstairs doing Lord knows what. Just kidding. My husband is working from home also, so he, is up there managing them while he's working and, whatever. But like this morning, I caught a trade, made 300 bucks across my 7 accounts, was done by 8, went upstairs, hopped on my golf cart, took my kids to the park. Like, I don't want or need to spend all day on the charts. And that's been a big growth thing too, is being okay with having days where I don't take trades. Um, because I think that it's really easy to find yourself staring at the screen all day long.
For
And
sure.
for me, there's been many moments where like I'm ashamed to say it, to be honest, but like I have put trading above my kids, like because I'm so fixated on finding my setup and my kids are like, "Mom, like we want to go to the library, we want to go to the pool, we want to do this, we want to do that." And I'm like, "No, no, no, just a couple more minutes, a couple more minutes." And then the next thing I know, I look up and it's like, the market just closed, the day is done, and I missed out on all this quality time with my kids and a trade never came. Or a trade came and I lost. Or you know what I mean? Like, or
100%.
sometimes I made money, but like that's not what this is about.
So you
I
put
got
in
into this because of the time freedom.
right. So you put the time stop in place so you can actually, and on mountain time, it's nice. You can enjoy a lot of the day still. Like it's not like the day is over at 8:30. It's just getting started.
Totally.
So that's super
Totally.
nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there, I know Jay Dunn is near you. Is there any other traders that you've met in Colorado?
Yeah. So Jay Dunn's out here. He's great. We're buds. Brandon, do you know Brandon trades?
Mm-mm,
Brandon Rosewag.
mm-mm.
He's one of the team bull traders as well. He lives
I
out here as well.
would assume Jay Dunn's got, Denver on lock, Colorado on
Yeah.
lock. Right. Right. So if
Yeah,
you're trading in Colorado, Jay Dunn.
he's got a handful of people out here. And I've met most of the people I know through him. So there's, Brandon, there's another guy, Cody, who isn't really like a social media trader guy, but he trades that we chat here and there.
So
Um,
so I was going to say, how do you deal with being the lonely girl in an industry full of dudes? Because I mean, you said your DMs are nasty. I'm assuming not too many dick pics. I asked one of the other girls I had on the show, but you never know with the dudes in our industry.
Thankfully, I've not received any dick
That's good.
pics I can
The
report.
guys are too focused on their trades to send you a dick pic.
Yeah, I mean, I also try really hard to position like I am very, I would say, conservative in the way that I post on purpose.
Right.
I'm not trying to be like the hot trader that's like posting risque photos. I think that usually the people who receive dick pics are asking for them subliminally through their content. Like there's a
Probably spot
reason.
on.
Yeah, like if someone sends me a dick pic and my content is about being a mom and
Right. Something's off.
it just would be really weird.
Something's off. But you're getting a bunch of people hating on the idea of replacing your husband's income and helping your family become financially free and hanging out with your kids. It's actually kind of crazier than the dick pics when you think
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I will say I want to make it super clear that I have gotten a lot of negative feedback, but the positive feedback far outweighs the
Oh, I
negative.
would assume so.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, like there's always going to be keyboard warriors. In the beginning, I was like, I'm never going to block anyone. I'm not going to be that person. And now it's like block, block, block.
Oh,
Like, you
generously,
know,
generously.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not if they disagree with me or
No, but
like
if they're
are,
aggressively rude or
yes.
trolling you, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I don't want to deal with that. I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, for me, like the social media thing is just kind of a fun side hustle gig. Like I said at the beginning, I don't know if we were recording yet, but like I'm in this, especially now working with Andrew. Like he is, in my mind, the best and arguably like the best, if not one of the top day traders out there. Like him, Umar, the numbers, the experience, all of that.
100%.
And I'm learning from the best. So like the social media is always going to take the very last priority for me. Like it's being a wife, being a mom, being with my family, and then trading. And then social media if there's an opportunity to. So it's really no sweat off my back. If people are gonna hate on me, like, cool, hate on me. Like, I don't care.
I think in this business you got to have thick skin. If you're going to put your trades out there, I tell everybody you're just going to.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of keyboard warriors, but I think like the overwhelming majority of people, especially even that are silent, are supporting. They're just not saying anything too. You know. So,
Oh, for sure.
what
Yeah.
what's your advice for the other stay-at-home moms? Because I'm sure some of them are listening. I told you I had Rebecca on before. We had a lot of stay-at-home moms listening in, people that had never seen my podcast before. I'm sure we'll touch some of them here. What would be your advice to other women that have kids that are trying to trade or learn how to trade, right? First year, 2, 3?
Man, I don't know. It's hard, Austin. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's really easy to, put out content that's like, look at me. Like, even today, I posted,
Yeah, what are you
my
talking
reel
about?
that was
Golf
like,
cart, hanging out.
yeah, I made all this money and, now I'm hanging out with my kids. Honestly, my biggest piece of advice would be to not let the little things influence the big things. And what I mean by that, and I'm stealing this from Andrew, because he had this conversation with me after I blew who knows which account, one of my accounts early on, and I was just so frustrated. I think it's really easy, like, to allow what happens on the charts to impact how you show up for your family, because it is emotional, right? Like, especially as women, like, we're emotional beings. For me, I'm extremely competitive. It's a blessing and a curse. But when I lose, especially in the beginning, like, I would be one version of me with my kids when I had a winning day and a different version when I had a losing day. It would ruin my day. And if you have the opportunity to be at home with your babies, raising them, and spending that time with them, don't let something as silly as trading influence how you show up as a mom. Um, if you stick with it, like I said at the beginning, I feel like you will succeed.
It's good advice for the dads too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's good advice for anyone in or out of trading, because
it
it's really
is.
easy to lose focus of what's important and to take things out on our kids. And like, ultimately, like, your kid looks at you and all they want is your attention, your presence, your love. They didn't do anything. Like,
And
even if they're being annoying,
yeah,
and
you're so right. And even like when you think about it that way, it's like you got into trading to take back your time. Now you have the most important job in the world, being a parent, and you're not prioritizing the thing that you said you got into this business for. It's now taken last priority because you're
totally.
prioritizing candles or lines or whatever you're looking at.
Yes. Yes. I also feel like less is more. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't know how long you trade, but for me, like,
I locked my accounts at 10:30 this morning.
yeah.
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 So I try to be done because I have other shit, with the
Mhm.
social media stuff too. But I'm super on like awareness mode of like how much time am I really working? Because I can get caught up just sitting up here in my crow's nest, my wife calls it, and just
Yeah.
keep working. Like, yeah. So I try to be present with my kid because like you only get those young years, a couple of
Yeah.
times, maybe if you're lucky. So yeah, I
Yeah.
try to be
It's
done early too, like you.
it's easy to get caught up in trying to stick around to catch another trade or whatever it is, but, like,
It's true.
most people, if you were to ask them, like, if this was your last day on Earth, like, how do you wanna spend it? They're not gonna say staring at
Trading.
candlesticks on a chart.
No.
They're
Great
gonna
point.
say with their kid or with their spouse or doing what they love outside. Like, how much time have I wasted staring at the charts when I could have been out on a walk
Right.
or working out or doing something that's actually gonna fill my cup? Because as great as trading is, I don't walk away from staring at the charts, like, filled up,
No. It's like
like
just
I
do the
do.
job, make the money, and then go
Yeah.
fill the cup everywhere else. Well,
Yes,
I said this
totally.
at the seminar too. People were surprised. They were like, I think it was actually in the testimonial video. I said to people, I'm like, who here thinks they're passionate about trading? Really, 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 really obsessed with it. And like a fifth of the room maybe raised their hand. And I said,
Mm,
okay, who believes you have to be passionate about trading to make money from it? And then more people raised their hand. And I was like, well, let's reframe all of that because you don't need to be super passionate about trading to make money from it. In fact, too much passion will keep you over trading. Just do it well enough to make money and then stop.
mm,
That's what
yeah,
that there is an overdoing it in trading for sure.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like most people, they get into trading because of the opportunity for it to open the door to something else. Like, even for me, like, yeah, I got into it because of a hobby, but what I didn't tell you is that, like, my why behind trading isn't for my immediate family, like my husband and my kids, because like I mentioned, my husband does a great job providing.
Right.
It's actually because I've had a lot happen with my extended family over the past 5 years, like my sister battling stage 4 breast cancer and my whole hometown burning to the ground and watching a bunch of family members and friends lose everything.
Yeah.
And you know what I felt in those moments? Helpless. Because as well as my husband does, like, we don't have unlimited financial resources where I can just snap my fingers and say, "Hey, whatever you need. Like, let me help, let me fix this." And so for me, like, my big drive is honestly that I want to be able to be generous, like exceedingly above and beyond generous and help people, because ultimately, like, what's the point of life? Like, what if
It's
you
true.
have, like, why are we holding on to things like this instead of like giving back,
And
you know?
I mean, like you said, I think there's going to be listeners that hopefully understand what you're saying and have felt it like I have. I could totally understand. And then there's people that maybe haven't had the financial privilege to give money to people that need it or situations that need, and they're probably like, nah, I wouldn't. You're full of shit. But it is so true that doing stuff like that, even small stuff, family member needs $1,000 to cover this, or lawyer for this divorce thing, or whatever, being able to help out with that feels more fulfilling than hitting a winning trade. Like, I've gotten to the point that I hope you do, and everyone that's been trading for a while, you hit your trade, you're done. It's not that exciting. And then boom, like, you're done for the day and you go on with your life, because you can't make your trading an equal to your worth in everyday real life. We're not cyborgs yet. We're not plugged into the matrix yet. Maybe eventually, when we're all living in a simulation for real and like some upload thing, trading will matter more. But in today, trading really doesn't matter for most people, because no one here is going to be George Soros crashing the pound or whatever. Everyone in here is just looking to make some extra money. I was saying this earlier too. I was like, think about how impactful it would be for someone who makes, let's just say, $5,000 a month, husband, $5,000 a month from the wife. So they make 10 grand a month. For them to make another $2,500 a month trading pre-market a couple days a week, that increases their family income by what percentage? A really nice chunk. Like, if I told you were getting a 25% raise, you'd be like stoked at your regular job.
Yeah,
But people, like you said a little bit before, are unrealistic expectations. They don't see it in that reality. And social media is a part of that. But then that compounded over time, I think, does eventually put you in a position, take bigger trades, take bigger risks, make more money, and then you can be more generous.
totally.
Yeah.
Or even the ability to, have a little bit of extra money to invest other ways, and grow your wealth other ways, or put
Like buying a
into
Lambo. Right, that's what
or
we're doing
not.
next, right, Jen? No, listen how smart my brother is, and I know we're past an hour, so I don't want to keep you. I'll let you go back to the kids. But my brother, I was like, Logan, I'm thinking about getting a new car, getting something fun. My son is 2 years old, so 2-year-old boys, all he cares about is fucking cars, right? He's obsessed
Yeah.
with revving an engine. So I'm like, okay, now I can justify getting a cool sports car. So I say to my brother, I'm like, I'm going to be smart with my money. I'm going to buy it in cash. My brother, who works in finance, he goes, no, don't be that smart. Be smarter. He said, come on, do our Jewish ancestors some good things here, bro. He's suggesting buying this ETF that pays dividends at like crazy 10% a month dividend. He's like, and then use that to pay for the car every month. So I'm like, there's always levels to the smartness. And then, like, you know what he said? He was like, if you do that, bro, you'll have more free cash. Maybe you could donate it to me. So there you go, back to the charity. But
Oh my
Jen,
gosh. Well, I will
yeah,
say, if your 2-year-old is anything like my son was when
yeah.
he was 2, he'd probably be more excited if you got a dump truck.
Yes, for sure.
So
No, for sure. I need a dump truck. Anyone listening, if you stayed all the way
maybe
through, I need a dump truck.
if it's really about him, you might want to get the dump truck and not the Lambo.
Hey, right now, it's actually cop cars. Like, we hit them with the cop cars videos and the
Ooh.
ambulances. I don't know if it's making them like retarded with all the lights and shit, but hopefully not. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
Come on, we
Yeah.
waited till the end to drop the R word, Jen. Something was going to slide here today. So
Listen, I'm unoffendable.
that's why I like you. That's why I'm having you on. So everybody, if you stayed all the way through, make sure you hit the links in the description. I'll have Jen's Twitter, Instagram, everything linked so you guys can connect with her. Jen, we probably have to do part 2. I think it's in person. So I'll come out to Colorado. We'll do
Let's
one.
go.
We'll get Jay done. We'll get the whole gang. Maybe we'll do like a cool round table. People like the panels when I get multiple people on. They had good feedback on that. So
That'd be super fun. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
thank you, Jen. You did great. I appreciate you so much. I know the listeners do as well. So listeners, again, links are in the description. Thank you very much, Jen. Thank you as always. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.